And and that's all we are. That's it. And yet we defend it and hold it and have wars with it and, all sorts of ungodly ways of holding our sense of separation. And yet what we want is the opposite. Right? We want the opposite. We want to meet as we are, this shared root and this shared fabric. The root of the fundamental eternal ground and the fabric of love, whatever you want to call it, the dynamic movement of itself, knowing itself in the myriad of forms. And that's in the most desolate slums, and that's in the most amazing mansions, and that's in every color, every body, and everything in between. There is no separation here. And when you begin to live from this, when you begin to move from this, speak from this, see from this, then you see that interconnectedness, you see that unification. You actually get to experience the horror and the beauty as all one thing. It doesn't mean that you don't move towards and supporting and serving the beauty, and that you don't stand up and attempt to help, if you can, the horror. But it's not seen from this polarity, this duality, this war. The war is over here. It's impossible. And that, fundamentally, is what illuminates this body, what illuminates the earth, what illuminates this form and the space within these forms. That's what we are. The great, immeasurable, indestructible life. And something, for whatever reason, is pouring into the planet like maybe never before, and is allowing us. It's the great grace that we can come into this. We can begin to live from this. We can begin to move from this. We can be ordinary and we can be extraordinary, because there is no difference between the two. None. None. And for whatever reason, we can participate in this. You can call it whatever you want to call it, or nothing if you don't want to, but I call it the Great Return. It was the promise, really, of Jesus. It was the promise of Buddha. It was the promise of literally everyone who has woke up and recognized the nature that is within them and within everyone and everything else equally. That it would wake up no longer in an avatar, and may there be avatars, thank God for avatars. Maybe there will be a few more. But the awakening is here. And here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here, right? Equally. Can you imagine an earth as that? That's what's being woke up right now. Maybe we'll get to see it in our lifetimes. Maybe we won't, who knows? Maybe it'll be a terrible chaos and a hard birth, or maybe it'll be a wonderful, blessed, amazing birth. Who knows? It hasn't happened yet. The only real question is, do you want to participate in it? Do you want to be a full, conscious, awake participant in it? That's really the only question left. Because it's going to happen one way or the other. It is already taking place. So in your own heart, Really ask this question. As sincerely as you've asked any question ever before. Can you say yes to this? Can you open up rather than retract? Can you say yes rather than no and create all sorts of structures and ideas and perfect living conditions so you don't ever have to be touched by this? Can you say yes that you will actually serve this in your life? And you can serve it as if you're a waitress or someone cutting hair or someone gardening as much as you can serve it if you're more known on kind of a stage that other people recognize that you're serving. And each and every one of us has that, no matter what form it takes. We give because we have it to give. And our uniqueness is the perfect gift. It's the perfect gift. And if we hold back and say no to that perfect gift, then there's a hole. There's this big hole. Right? And no one can fulfill that. So, in this time, as we celebrate, the birth of the Christ, the Christed one, whether you are Jewish or whether you're, Muslim or whether you're Buddhist, or it could care less. Wonderful. Enjoy your identity, whatever form it is. I mean that lovingly. But as you really are, be open, be available, and say yes to this great birth of the Christing. It's the Christing of the planet. Do you get that? Do you get actually what frickin' is happening? I mean that. It's not some airy-fairy ascending into some la-la land. I don't mean that at all. It's just show up, participate, say yes, be a part of it.